Hello, everyone, and good evening. This is Soul Sunday Reloaded with Ruby and Allison. Just waiting for Allison to come on. For Allison to receive her invite. But I am Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur, and as I stated, this is Soul Sunday Reloaded with myself and Allison. Normally we've been doing Soul Sunday since November of last year, and recently within the last month we've decided to also go live every Tuesday. So that's why we're here. So I'm just waiting for Allison to come on. But real quick, for my replay viewers, if you happen to catch this on the replay, be sure to comment your name, where you're watching from, so we can go back and thank you for tuning in to Soul Sunday Reloaded. For those that don't know me, I am Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur, author of the Goddess Grind book series, which focuses on you becoming the best version of you in order to manifest success personally as well as professionally. I am a chakra expert. I am a speaker, internet radio personality. I have my own radio show or internet radio show called Soul Therapy with Rubi and Tara, which we actually air this Sunday. And this Sunday's topic is entitled Pulling the Trigger. But I'm still waiting for Allison so we can go ahead and get this particular live for Soul Sunday Reloaded started. So Allison should be showing up shortly or receiving her invite so I can bring her on and we can get into our topic. But I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Hey LaShawn, hey Tavan, am I pronouncing that correctly? Eric, Mahani, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Like I said, my name is Ruby D and I'm the Goddess Entrepreneur. I'm a full-time entrepreneur and business owner. And I'm waiting for Allison to receive her invite. But for those of you that don't know, this is Soul Sunday Reloaded. Our regular Soul Sunday, of course, is every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And like I said, within the last month, Allison and I decided to also do this on Tuesday. So now you get to see us twice per week for a full hour and listen to us talk and have fun. And we usually talk about topics that are important but rarely discussed. Like, for instance, this evening, we will be discussing protecting your professional energy and professional self-care accountability. So that's what Allison and I will be discussing as soon as Allison receives her invite or I see her come on. So, Allison, where you at? You know the routine. This ain't nothing new. Wait, it is 7 o'clock, right? It is. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock. So, yeah, I'm waiting on Allison. And I know she will be here because she has been faithfully doing these Facebook Lives with me since November of last year. So it's been almost a year. I am actually happy for that. Hey Robert, hey Ricky, hello Corey. Thank you all for tuning in. And anybody else that's watching and I can't see that you're watching, I appreciate you. Allison, where you at? Hello Arlen, hello Eric. Y'all, I don't know where Allison at. Allison better bring her tail on. Because we got to get this started. We can only talk for a good hour because it's almost time for me to go eat. And if y'all know me, if y'all have watched me before, y'all know I like to eat. I sure does. Allison. I don't know where Allison at, y'all. But we're going to give her a few more minutes because I know she's coming. She was probably on her way to one place or another. Y'all see all my stuff? Yeah. But I don't know where she is. There she is. Allison, I sent you an invite. You know how Facebook do. You know how Facebook do. So we just gonna give it a few minutes for Allison's invite to pop up. Because Facebook be tripping. As it is doing now. Yeah, it will no longer allow me to turn on the option where she can request to be in the video. Why is that an option, Facebook, if I cannot take advantage of it? But Allison, I see you. I know you're there, so I'm glad you're here. But you know the routine. We got to give Facebook a few minutes to get their act right together. But like I said, for everybody that's just tuning in, this is Soul Sunday Reloaded with myself and Allison. And we will be discussing protective. Exactly. We will be discussing protecting your professional energy as well as professional self-care accountability. And I know y'all probably like, what is that? Don't worry, we gon' get into that. We really gonna get into that because we need to. Allison and myself, we are full-time entrepreneurs. I'm actually going on 3 years. I think Allison may be going on maybe about 7 or 8 months of being a full-time entrepreneur. And it's not easy. We definitely know that entrepreneurship is not for everybody. But multiple streams of income is. We understand that some people, have regular jobs that they absolutely love, which is completely fine. If that is your career, then that is great. Some people have a temporary job that they really enjoy and that they really like, which is absolutely fine. But no matter the case, we are going to be discussing protecting your professional energy. Even though we are the same person at home and at work, we're around different people. And we have to learn to protect our energy so that we can not only protect ourselves, but protect our businesses and protect our jobs. And Allison, I'm still waiting. Hi y'all. We still waiting for Allison to receive her invite so I can bring her on. Y'all know Facebook be tripping. This is not anything new. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. Yeah, Allison gonna get her invite eventually. It's gonna give me the option in a minute. Hopefully not a whole minute, but that's why I kind of went live earlier, so it'll send it to her. But I guess it really don't make a difference because it's still not sending her an invite. I think Sunday it might. How long did it take? About entirely too long. But that's okay because we're here and we have a very interesting topic to discuss this evening, and we will be discussing it. So we got a little time for that. But Allison, love-hate relationship with Facebook and social media. It's okay. It's okay. It's cool. This is Soul Sunday Reloaded with Rubi and Allison. You can normally catch us regularly catch us on Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have been doing this since November of last year. It's been almost a year. And we've been going 10 minutes. Oh, okay. I knew it took a while. Okay, here we are. Finally. So Allison will be on. Here she comes. Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I knew it was going to take a minute. I was like, let me just sit here and wait for Facebook to decide to let me join.
Exactly. We just waiting on you, Facebook. We just waiting on you.
We just waiting
But
on you.
already my little introduction, so you go ahead so we can get on into this.
All right, peace and blessings, everybody. Real quick, I am Miss Allison Denise, relationship expert, and today I am part of Soul Sunday Reloaded, and I cannot wait to talk about this topic. So let's get to it.
Yes. So like I said, we will be discussing protecting your professional energy and professional self-care accountability. So we'll start with the first one, which is protecting your professional energy. We all know that we have an energy body. We all have a chakra system. if you have not seen me post about the chakras, then you obviously not following my page. Cause I mean, not every single post is about the chakras, but I post at least once or twice or multiple times daily, somewhere on social media.
Mm-hmm.
But we all are familiar with our personal chakra system, and earlier, actually no, it was last year, I also started talking about a business chakra system or a professional chakra system.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much what the professional chakra system is it's the energy body for your business or for your career. And you pretty much have the same seven chakras that you have personally that you have professionally. Like for example, we'll use the root chakra. Of course, we all know that the personal root chakra is our survival chakra. It's the same thing for your professional energy body. It is the survival of your business or the survival of your job or your career. And sometimes that particular chakra can be balanced, underactive, or overactive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you think about the survival of your business, pretty much can your business sustain you? Do you make enough money in your business to pay for your bills? What foundation is your business built on? Do you have, all of your proper business things in order, such as copywriting, if it's necessary, trademark if necessary, EIN, and all of that stuff in place? What type of educational background do you have as far as owning a business, running a business, being a business owner, and even professionally? If you have a job or if you're in a career, is your job providing you with enough income for you to survive?
Mm-hmm.
Um, what type of foundation do you have within the company that you work for? Is this foundation a type of foundation for you to build and work towards moving up in the company? Just because you work for somebody does not necessarily mean you have a firm foundation with that company, because if they need to start laying some folks off and you on the chopping block, guess what's gonna happen?
Yep, that part.
You consider these things.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get more into that, but I'm gonna go ahead and let Allison go ahead and chime in with her thoughts on this particular topic.
Yeah, I think it's a very important one. And what Ruby said, prior to, me finally getting connected, she's right. It has been, what is it now? September. I'm right at 7.5 months since I became a full-time entrepreneur. So she was dead on, but I knew she would be because she's been walking me through it. But, yeah, it's important to understand that you can talk about chakras and you can talk about balancing, and a lot of times when people are thinking it, they're thinking in terms of their own personal growth and development. And
Hmm.
luckily I'm happy to see that people are starting to see the importance of the chakra system, myself included, in relationships. But as Ruby has mentioned several times since we started Soul Sunday, you cannot separate business from personal like people think you can. Now, you may have to look at the chakra system differently in terms of your business, but it is no less important. And so
Mm.
I'm really excited about the fact that we're talking about, okay, how do I take this to the next level? I'm an entrepreneur, whether I'm seasoned or brand new, I'm an entrepreneur. So how can I get to the point where I can use the chakras that I've done on the personal side and with the relationships that I'm in? How can I use it to make sure that I'm my best self for my business and I have the best interests and the best vision and intuition for my business? And so that's why I'm excited about talking about this, because this is your baby. I'm figuring that out. I'm figuring out why people find it so hard to
Right.
step away sometimes, and why they find it so hard to, finally go to bed or get on some type of schedule, because this really is exciting. Building my business, I have my struggles. I was just talking to a friend a few minutes ago. I'm still dealing with time management struggles, but it's my baby. And at the end of the day, I really want to do what's best for it. And what better way for us to make sure our business is great than to make sure we're settled and balanced and
Exactly.
on the right track. So yeah, I'm ready.
Well, that is absolutely Correct. We have to make sure that we are balanced, because if we are running a business,
Mm-hmm.
the business doesn't run itself.
Mm-hmm.
So if we got an attitude today, the business got an attitude today, pretty
Okay.
much.
Yes, it does.
But we're not going to sit here and break down the whole professional chakra system, because we've already done a Soul Sunday episode on that specifically. I will share that video for anybody that wants to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like Allison kept saying, take the free chakra test. When you join my email list at www.thegoddessgrind.com, you will receive a link to a free chakra test.
Mm-hmm.
The test is free. Take it.
It's really good. Take it. Take it.
Mm-hmm.
Take it.
But the first thing that we're going to talk about, or the next thing that we're going to talk about, is getting to know who you truly are professionally. And what I mean by that is becoming familiar with your professional energy body.
Mhm.
That means whether you're an employee, or if you are an entrepreneur, or a combination of the two. Now, I know people don't consider this like a personality type, but you have to really understand where you are in order to understand what you need to become familiar with.
Mhm.
Because entrepreneurship is not for everybody, being an employee is not for everybody, but some people enjoy the mix of the two. So, one, become extremely comfortable with which one you are. If you've tried to start several businesses, and it's not working out, it's probably because you're not meant to be an entrepreneur, and that's absolutely fine. Just like me, I've had, a few, long-term jobs, steady jobs, and no, working for somebody else just wasn't for me.
Mhm.
Entrepreneurship is my thing,
Mhm.
and I'm comfortable with that. I'm happy with that. And I know for some, having the security of a part-time job or even a full-time job, mixed in with being able to have their side hustle or do their thing on the side, is what's most comfortable for them.
Yeah.
So you first definitely have to understand what your professional energy body is like. And I'm like, I was about to say, who calling me? But that's a text message. I'll get back to you, whoever you are. I don't know. But the only way to truly understand who you are professionally
Mhm.
is just to basically be honest with yourself.
Yep.
If you don't like other people telling you what to do, if you don't like working a morning shift or working any shift, if people always ask you about, well, when you gonna do this full time, when are you gonna start selling these products, these are different little things that you can take into consideration.
Mhm.
um if, like, Allison and I did a video on what is it, if you're an entrepreneur, signs that you may need to go back to work.
Oh yeah.
We did a video on that. Yeah, definitely watch that, because it may be some things in there you be like, what, this entrepreneur life is not really for me, let me go back to being an employee. But if if you feel like being one or the other is really not you, be honest with yourself and just, you know.
Yeah.
We have a comment from Barry. Indeed, Queen, respect, salute, honor, sis, to you, sending positive vibration. Oh, thank you. We really appreciate it. But Allison, you can go ahead and chime in on that particular bullet point about getting to know who you are professionally.
Yeah, I think that is one of the first steps. Uh, as an entrepreneur, make sure that you didn't take a step into the wrong direction. And the only way to know that is to start figuring out who you are as a business owner. Now, Ruby knew very quickly that, she was an entrepreneur. She knew that before I believe she said she knew that even before she was, working on a regular basis. She knew at some point she wanted to
Mm-hmm.
be her own boss. She wanted to run her own businesses, and she knew all of those things. Mine was more of I was directed into it. It was part of my path, but I was rejecting it because I didn't know it, because I just kept focusing on just being the best employee I could and moving up the corporate ladder and all that other stuff. But like I mentioned on Sunday, I wasn't paying attention to the signs, like the jobs were lasting shorter and shorter.
Mm-hmm.
And and it was because the universe was like, Allison, no, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing this. And so some of the questions that you might need to ask yourself to determine what type of, and I'll just talk to entrepreneurs because I know that a lot of you are either wanting to be one or you already are. So I'm not going to focus on if you are. Let's focus on the fact that you've decided you want to be. Some of the questions that you need to ask yourself are, what type of uh, manager or leader do I want to be? Do I understand what a leader looks like? Do I understand leadership skills? Do
Mm-hmm.
I have leadership skills? What are some of the areas that I need to work on myself so that I can be effective? What are the things that I don't want to hire other people to have the same bad habit of? Like I just mentioned a few minutes ago, I'm still working on time management. I have a lot of different balls up in the air that I'm juggling, and some are working, some are not. And once I get off of this video, because I knew the energy from the video would give me that motivation to keep going to figure out what to fix.
Mm-hmm.
But I know time management is one. Time management could be it for you. Are you someone who wants people who are bright and bushy tailed, but you don't seem to turn on until noon and you want to figure out how to fix that? Are you an early riser? Are you a mid afternoon person? Are you
Right.
good with people skills, or is that something that you need to work on? Are you good with social media? How do you feel about reaching out to new prospects, or is that something that you want to hire someone else to do? Whatever it is, start to figure out exactly who you are when it comes to business, the good and the bad. Don't just focus on the fact that you're
Right.
creative and talented and have a lot of followers on social media. Don't focus on that. Get down to the bare bones of it. How are you with administrative tasks? Because that is a huge part of being an entrepreneur. You've got to take care of the paperwork that the job was doing when you were just clocking in and out. You got to focus on when the laws
Mm-hmm.
change. You have to focus on payroll systems when you start getting employed. You got to do those things. How are you with paperwork? How are you with organizing things? How are you with keeping proper documentation? How are you with money? How are you with money? Because you won't have someone saying, well, here's a portion of your salary that we're going to give you for 26 pay periods or 52. You are going to have to figure out how much, how little, if I can be real, what's the least amount I can live on right now so that the
Mm-hmm.
business can move forward, because that one check is now funding several things. And if you have employees, you got to pay them first. You do not want that reputation. I promise you. So
Sure don't.
you don't. So you really want to sit down and just be honest, write it down. These are the areas that I know I'm good in and would feel confident teaching new employees how to do. These are the areas that could hurt me if I don't find out how to get better at them. Be honest. That's the only way your business is going to move forward.
Exactly. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Soul Sunday Reloaded with Ruby and Allison. We are discussing protecting your professional energy as well as professionally um, being accountable for your, well, basically being accountable for your professional self care.
Yes.
Um, Terrence says, "Am I even earning money from what I do, from what I want to do anyway?" Is a question that he asks himself. Yes, like I
Hmm.
said, the first thing that we started to that we were discussing is getting to know who you are professionally, whether that's you being an entrepreneur, being an employee, or being a combination of the two.
Hmm.
Because if, like I said, entrepreneurship is not for everybody, being an employee is not for everybody, and some people just like that happy medium
Yep.
of having access to both.
That's right.
Um, so first, be honest and just self-evaluate which one am I truly, and once you decide which one you are, then move forward in that. Everybody's purpose is not to be an entrepreneur full time.
It's just not.
It is not easy. You have to be mentally and emotionally prepared.
Yes.
You can be financially prepared and not mentally and emotionally, and the business still tanks.
That's right.
It's not just financial.
Mm-mm.
But the next thing with becoming familiar with your professional energy body is basically understanding that you can't share your vision with everybody else and you can't take advice from everybody. um when you when you get an idea or you start moving in your purpose, you basically get the vision. I mean, you get visions that only you can see, that only you can bring to life, that only you can give birth to. And sharing that with other people is sometimes not the best idea to do, or not the best thing to do,
Mm.
because pretty much they're either going to try to talk you out of it, tell you it's not a good idea, take your idea, or a number of other different things. But the more you become comfortable with receiving these visions and these ideas and messages and signs that pertains to your purpose and your vision,
Hmm.
that's how you become more comfortable in what your professional energy body looks like, because you're not getting feedback from everybody else. You're not taking advice from everybody else. You are learning to trust yourself, and you're learning to trust who you are as a professional, whether it be an entrepreneur, employee.
Hmm.
I understand that, let me say this, with being an employee or working for somebody else, of course you have your company rules and guidelines and whatnot, but if a job comes, you know whether or not you want to move up in that particular company.
That's right.
And every job that becomes available is not you moving up in that company. You know which jobs to pass up or which positions to pass up and which ones you want to take. You still can't go to other people and say, hey, should I apply for this position? I can't tell you what you should do. You need to make that decision. So, like I said, becoming familiar with what your professional energy body looks like is learning to trust your vision and why you were given that vision and all of the messages and everything that comes with it. Terrence says, my energy says I eventually would do it. I own 3 to 5 businesses and still work with the school weekly to fund other businesses and vice versa. I say this to say it truly is first knowing who you are, meaning what's one of the best for the right. What's the best way for you to earn a living?
That's right.
Working a job ain't for everybody. But if whatever path you decide to take, don't be halfway in taking that path,
Mm.
because you're not going to excel at it, because you're not going to give it your all, and you're not going to do what you need to do in order to succeed in that particular path, because you're going to be trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Self-doubt is not going to work. So you can let that's why I say figure out what you really want to do first and then move in it.
Yep.
Trust me, when I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, I was like, look, I know I'm gonna have to work for a little bit just to get the experience that I need to be an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't taught young. I wasn't taught in school how to be a business owner, how to be an entrepreneur, how to do this, how to do that, how to run these different things. I
Right.
had to work. I had to get a job to get that information, to get those soft skills.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much that was my particular path. So, Allison, I'm gonna go ahead and let you chime in real quick.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of some of the last points that Ruby made. A lot of it is making sure that you're not half stepping, and that's in every area, but just specifically what we're talking about today. Entrepreneurship, you have to make a decision, and I'll go so far as to say making a decision to leap full force into entrepreneurship is also one of those tests in how well you can do, how well you are at decision making, because that's another
Mm-hmm.
thing that you are going to have to develop if you don't have it. You are the one who's going to have to make decisions, and you won't always be able to say, I'm going to take 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 8 weeks or a year. Sometimes you're going to have to make a decision in the next 5 minutes and be okay with how it happens. And the number one reason that we are afraid to leap in anything is fear of failure. So let me just get this out of the way. You're going to fail as an entrepreneur. Something you're going to do is not going to be right. Doesn't mean the business is going to fail, not necessarily, but you're going to make a decision that's not going to end up being a good one. You're going to go A when you should have been B. You're going to go left when you should have gone right. But if you start to figure out that the mistakes you make as an entrepreneur are the it's just part of the path for you to get where you want to go, You won't be so
Mhm.
afraid to make those steps. You can't be so afraid of, well, I still want to take care of my mortgage and I don't want to lose my house. And so I'm just going to do a little bit of entrepreneurship, but I'm still going to hold on to this job. As long as you have a blanket, hear me, as long as you have a blanket, as long as you have a cushion, you're never going to go full force. No one has been able that I'm aware of, no one that I follow, no one that I use as virtual mentors, no one has been able to take a leap from employee getting a steady check to an entrepreneur taking care of business without having moments where it was bleak and tight. That's just going to happen. But
Mhm.
it's designed to build your character and it's designed to show you exactly what it looks like from the ground up so that you appreciate it more when it gets there. If you go from making 100,000 a year to starting a business and then that business is making 100,000 a year, you've learned nothing. What are you going to teach people?
Right.
So just make sure that you do take that step. When you decide that you want to do it, when you've made the decision to figure out here are the areas, going back to our first point, here are the areas that I know I need to work on so they don't jeopardize my success in the future. Take the leap and figure out how to get those things fixed. If it's got to be YouTube, fine. If it's got to be a conference, fine. If it's got to be picking up some books at the library, fine. If it's got to be getting a mentor, fine, but make the decision to do more than know what you need to fix, go forward and fix
Right.
it.
Exactly. And thank you all for tuning in to Soul Sunday Reloaded with Ruby and Allison. We are discussing protecting your professional energy, but you have to first become familiar with it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, professional self care accountability. Once you become familiar with it,
Yeah.
then you have to learn how to take care of yourself as a professional,
Mm-hmm.
because professionals do need to get in some self care.
Yes.
But I kind of want to go ahead and slide into that part of it real quick. Um, so, one of my biggest things when it comes to my professional self care and holding myself accountable is I've never been team no sleep. I have never understood. No, let me take that back. I understand why people say that,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't subscribe to team no sleep. No, I get plenty of rest. And the reason is some of my best visions and information and ideas have come to me while I've been asleep. While I've been asleep, I can get an idea, a whole plan, the steps I need to take while I'm asleep. But not only that, you have to get ample rest in order to be able to think clearly, in order for your decision making process to be clear, in order for you to perform optimally, whether you're at work or running your business. Because me as a consumer, I don't want to come to you to buy a product from you and you making a product half sleep and then my stuff messed up. Then I'm gonna be looking at you like, no, I can't buy from them no more. When you don't get enough rest, do you know how much negative energy you make yourself susceptible to? And when you absorb that negative energy, if you're not familiar with yours to be able to tell the difference between yours and somebody else's, and you provide a product or service, that energy goes into that product or service. You have to be mindful of that. Don't be giving me no jacked up service. Don't be giving me no jacked up product. I don't want that. Because I'm not out here giving y'all no jacked up service.
Okay.
I ain't out here giving y'all no no Facebook lives full of negative energy.
Come on.
And if I have, show me one. I want you to show me one.
They won't.
You can't.
It ain't there.
Exactly. You can't. And it's just like when it comes to professional self care, you have to basically, you have to get some rest.
Yeah.
So, trust me, getting plenty of rest makes me really happy.
Mm-hmm.
Really happy. So that's one thing. Hey Tate, hey Karen, hey Terrence, hey Jasmine, hey Lewis. Thank you everybody for tuning in to Soul Sunday. I just want to do those shout outs real quick, but I'm gonna let Allison go ahead and chime in on that particular point.
Yes, rest, y'all, rest is so important. And you have to think about, here's the deal. you still need to think about it even when you were an employee. Even when Ruby and I were working in the corporate world, we still had to remember that we represented the company that was paying us. The difference is that technically we only needed to represent them and be on our quote unquote best behavior from 8 to 5 or whatever our schedule was. But you have to remember, as an entrepreneur, you are the brand for a very, very long time. Before the mascots
Mm-hmm.
or the caricatures or anything like that come out, you are the brand. You are the face. And that doesn't turn off at 5 p.m. You're the face all the time. And you have to make sure that you are represent you have to make sure that you're representing your business well. I'll just give an example. Ruby, when I connected with Ruby, she had a business called Artistic Body Care, and she was making scrubs and she was doing all of these things. Now tell me how much information you would have wanted from someone on skincare who had bags under her eyes every time you saw her. How many times? How many times you've been like, yeah, I want what she's got? The answer is you wouldn't. You know, and I even had to check myself, because I talk a lot about relationships, I talk a lot about dating, but I was going out with people that I knew I wasn't going to see the second time because I was just like, well, let me just study them. I'm going to go out with them and just study them so I can write about it in my journal. I'm like, how are you going to find anything successful by doing that? Stop it. And we've all said the same thing. I can't be the only person who has run into someone, a sister who has said that she is a hairstylist and it doesn't look like she's touched her hair in weeks. And you're just like, you do hair? And so, most people are gonna be like, well, she's just so busy doing other people's hair. Yeah, I hear you, but I need to know I need your work to be on your head. You should be a walking billboard. And so when Ruby is talking about sleep, those are two very funny examples, but they're also examples of people who are not properly taking care of themselves. The only way that
Right.
Ruby would have bags under her eyes is if she wasn't going to bed like she should. The only way that this stylist is not effectively being the billboard that she should, if she does hair or does braids or whatever, is if she's taking so many clients that she doesn't have time to take care of herself. I get needing money, but understand that entrepreneurship is about planting seeds. It's not about getting that big payoff
Mm-hmm.
every week or every 2 weeks. It's about continuing to plant those seeds so that you always have a crop that comes up. And
Right.
that crop starts with how you take care of yourself. I need to be team sleep. Now I'll be honest, I think my issue is that I'm one of the night owls. I seem, if I don't go to bed
Mm-hmm.
right at 10, by 10:15 I got a second win. And I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
Facebook Lives at 9:30. So me going to bed at 10 ain't happening right now. So I end up getting this second win where I have all of these ideas at 1:30, 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. But I mean, it'll be great if I'm not getting up until 10 or 11 at the next day, but that's not how I want to operate my business. So I say that to those who are just like, well, I'm just a night owl and that's just what I do. Okay, that's fine. But understand, you have to figure out how your business operates. What hours are your clients on? And if
Mm-hmm.
it's important enough to you for that business to be built, you're going to have to rearrange your schedule to fit around your demographic. Your demographic's not going to fit around you in the beginning because you don't have that type of reputation yet. So you've got to figure out, when it comes to sleep, okay, what does my day need to look like? If I know my day needs to start early, I'm gonna have to figure it out. I got to fix it. I'm gonna have to rearrange
Right.
my internal clock. I got to do something. I don't have to, but if my business is important to me, I'll do it. And so that's what I'm going to do. So make sure you are taking that time. You saying that you're going 48 and 72 hours without sleep, that doesn't make you look like a hustler or a grinder. It makes you look like somebody who's going to burn out real quick, real fast. So balance it out. It's all back to what we talked about in the beginning. You got to balance everything out.
Yes. And hey, Latasha. Hey, Kanethia. Tate.
Oh boy, what did Tay
Anyway,
say?
you know Tate.
Oh boy.
But This is Soul Sunday Reloaded with Ruby and Allison, and we are discussing protecting your professional energy. Your professional energy body is pretty much the energy that surrounds your professional life, your professional chakra system. If you
Yeah.
don't know what the professional chakra system is, we've done a full Facebook Live on a full Soul Sunday episode on that, and
Mhm.
I will share it with you for you all to become familiar with it. But we are now talking about professional self care accountability. Now, I know that as entrepreneurs, or even as people that, that are employees, or that are people that are a combination of the two, one of the biggest things that I get when, when I do consultations and I'm telling people you have to get some self care. You have to get in some time for, well, I don't have time and I don't have, let me tell y'all something. What you do is you schedule in your personal care time. It becomes a part of your work schedule. Okay? If you at work and you know you get off at 5 p.m. and you know you have to be home, whatever time to take care of the kids, the hubby, the wife, or whatever. What I need you to do is don't tell them I get off at 5, I'll be home at 5:30. No, you get off at 5 and tell them I'll be home at 6. So then that way you can schedule yourself 30 minutes in for self-care.
Right.
Or if you have a job, I mean if you are an entrepreneur, you have full control over your work schedule. Schedule in you some self-care time.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's paid.
Mm-hmm.
Say, look, you know when you go to work, they not finna pay you for no self-care time at work.
At all.
But part of your job as a business owner can be to get in self-care.
Yes.
You are responsible for that.
Yes.
So if you know your business hours are basically 10 to 5,
Mm-hmm.
how about you make your business hours from 9 to 5, and from 9 to 10, that's when you take your self-care time.
Yep.
You know, Stop making excuses about why, well, I don't have time for self care. They got shower meditation. You can meditate while you work out. You can pretty much turn any activity into a form of self care
Yep.
because mentally and emotionally, you
Mm-hmm.
can be in a completely different place than you are physically. You just don't know how to do it. You can learn how to do it if you really want to know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. I do it all the time. I could be sitting right here listening to somebody that I do not want to listen to, but mentally and emotionally, I'm somewhere else. So it's just like all I got to do is wait for them to finish. I want y'all to tell me how many times have y'all seen me just go off on Facebook?
Never.
Exactly,
Mm-mm.
because I refuse. I refuse. I try my best every time, every opportunity I get to balance my chakras. Now I will say it has been some times where I've been like, if this person don't get out of my face. But in that same sentence, I'm like, this is opportunities for me to balance my chakras.
Mm-hmm.
And I still
Mm.
do it. It's just you have to learn to make time for professional self-care. And when I
Yes.
say professional self care, I'm not saying you from 9 to 10 that when you schedule this time in, go get a manicure or a pedicure. Sometimes professional self care can be you saying affirmations that pertain to your business,
That's right.
affirmations that pertain to you manifesting things that you need to happen in your business.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it could be you writing some professional goals down. It's not always about manicures and pedicures and getting your hair done and taking a sea salt bath, and just as much energy that you put into your personal self-care, you need to put the same amount of energy into your professional self-care.
Mm-hmm.
Schedule the time, make the time.
Yep.
Allison, you can go ahead and chime in, honey child.
And that business, yeah, and I'm glad that you made the distinction because that is something that we have to make sure that we understand. The manicures, the pedicures, taking time to get a massage, taking time to, get our hair done or take our twists out in my case, all that is cool. But you also want to understand that there is a different side when you're talking about business and while that can be part of it, you also want to talk about, think about the purpose of self-care. The purpose of the manicures, the pedicures, getting your hair done, getting a massage. The purpose is to take care of your body. The purpose of, getting relaxed and being mentally de-stressed. That's cool. But now let's think about it from the business perspective. Business self-care is just that. What will help me make the business better? You may
Mm-hmm.
decide that from 2 to 4, once a month on a Wednesday, you're going to go to a conference. You're going to go do a class. You're going to go get a different certification or study for a license. It may be that you decide from 9:30 to 10 you're going to be at the office, but before you make yourself available, you're going to read a few pages out of a business book, or you're going to listen to a motivational message or something like that. So you want to build all of that in so that you're not just taking care of your body, but so you're also doing things that will make your business more valuable, have more services that you can offer, which in turn equals more money.
Right.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And we, of course, like I said, Allison as well as myself, we are full-time entrepreneurs. I'm going on 3 years, Allison going on 8 months. But we all know statistically, most small business don't make it past 6 months, and even less past a year, and even less past 18 months.
Hmm.
And I'm sure a lot of that, has to do to financial reasons,
Yeah.
lack of support,
Yeah.
lack of a proper budget for marketing, and all these other kind of things. But what we rarely discuss is how much of that is contributed to not mentally and emotionally being prepared, not energetically and spiritually being prepared to run a business.
Hmm.
Some people can't keep a job because they're not really, when we go into the job force, we're not mentally and emotionally prepared for what comes with that. Trust me, when you were in school age, your focus was to go to school. Didn't nobody talk about become mentally and emotionally prepared for no job? No, we just wanted you to be intellectually prepared, so called intellectually, because you really don't have to be smart to work a job as long as you can get through training. But that's a whole nother story. But anyway, we're not mentally and emotionally prepared to handle a job. Not at the age of 15, even though Allison was at Burger King and she was happy to be there.
I really was. I really was.
But we're not mentally and emotionally prepared for these things. So then when we jump out there and we feel like we got this, we got a handle on this, and we feel like we doing what we supposed to do, then 5 and 10 years down the line, you stressed and depressed, and it's because this stuff just snuck up on you because you were not mentally and emotionally prepared for this. Now, if you were never mentally and emotionally prepared for a job, you sure wasn't mentally and emotionally prepared for entrepreneurship.
Mm-mm.
Now I do, realize that we are getting better with that now that we are becoming more aware.
Mm.
But even with some people, you can't stay on a job too many years without taking some type of short-term disability or taking some type of leave just so you can get a mental and emotional break.
Right.
And hopefully your job is still there.
Hmm.
It's gotten so much to the point where um if you apply for a job, that's one of the things that people look. Do you have an employee assistance program? Jobs have this built into their benefit package
Hmm.
because they know that this job is going to be stressful at some particular point. And it's just like, no, we don't want you taking time for self-care. We just want you to, continue to come here and work until you get stressed enough to the point where you just use the employee program and take a few weeks off, and pretty much you just taking a break,
Yep.
and you're still not learning how to mentally and emotionally handle what comes back once you go back to the job,
Right.
dealing with the same stuff.
Right.
So it's just like, you know what? We have to learn how to incorporate self-care into our everyday routine, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes,
Mm.
twice a month. You got to start somewhere. Yeah, Latasha said, oh, she did make a comment earlier about her feet. She likes to get her, she
Yeah.
goes over her affirmations while she getting her feet done. And then Terry says, come on, yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Yes, it's heavy. I have to mentally prepare for everything. If I'm not prepared, I won't show up. Exactly.
Right.
And it's just like you have to become aware. You have a professional energy body. First, make sure you understand that. And then once you know you have that, then become familiar with what it feels like. Once you become familiar, then learn what it is that you need in order to make sure your professional energy body stays healthy. Make sure you protect your energy. Because trust me, just like you at that job stressing, everybody else around you is stressing. Just like you a business owner stressing, it's other business owners around you stressing. And I don't need that negative energy. I don't need that. I got enough of my own I got to deal with,
Okay.
and it takes enough for me to protect mine and make sure I recharge and stay replenished so I can do what I do, such as these Facebook lives.
That's
Alice.
right. That is so, it's just, it's the truth. The mental preparation is, it's just everything. You got to get to a point after and it's part of the balance, and it's still part of the balance, and it goes right back to what we're talking about with balancing your business chakra, just like you do for the personal side of your life. That mental preparation, that is what's going to keep you in the ring when you start having everything thrown at you. That's what's going to keep you ready when you have to make all of these decisions back to back. That's what's going to keep you focused when you're the one who has to make all of these different decisions. You got 10 people coming at you needing 10 different things, and they all need an answer right now. It's that mental preparation, that mental toughness that's going to allow you to make those
Mhm.
decisions, deal with the times that there may be fallout from those decisions, and more importantly, get up the next day to keep fighting instead of saying, never mind, I tap out. It's all up here. Ain't
Right.
got nothing to do with the wallet like we think it does. It does have a little bit to do with how you take care of your body and exercise. But here's the thing: you can go run 5 miles every morning before you open up that business. You can have $2 million in the bank, but if your mind's not right, none of that's gonna matter. You're just gonna be a healthy broke person with no job, no business, and no clients. But you're healthy, you got a six pack. Congratulations. It all starts here. It all starts here. Get this right, everything else will follow.
Indeed. Now, what I will recommend is getting yourself a professional self-care accountability partner.
Yeah.
I know that was a lot of words, but professional. Let's break it down real quick. Professional, not personal. So whoever you got personal now,
Mhm.
no, don't get them. Get somebody professional. If you are an entrepreneur, find you another entrepreneur. Find you another entrepreneur that's either at the same level you are or where you want to be.
Mhm.
Don't get nobody that's below you. They're not gonna motivate you. They can't help you. They haven't been through
Nope.
somewhat what they're not where you are. Self-care. Pretty much making sure you get your professional self-care in. Make sure you taking some time to do your business affirmations, to whatever, whatever, like do like Latasha do. Go get that pedicure, but you writing in your business journal.
Yep.
Whether it's before work, somewhere in the middle, after, whatever works for you. Make sure you get just your self-care in there, your professional self-care in there some kind of way.
Mhm.
Accountability partner. Y'all know what an accountability partner is. Somebody to keep you accountable to what you said you was gonna do.
Mhm.
So get you a professional self-care accountability partner.
Yep.
And I consider Allison and Tara being that, because we
Mhm.
have our talks. Now we ain't, checking up on each other. You doing your meditation, you doing this, you doing that. But we all know that we are all on our personal journeys. And in doing that,
Yep.
we occasionally check in, but we are to the point where we know that each of us are so firm in what it is that we do. We don't have to check in every week. We ain't even got to check in every month.
Mm-mm.
But we still check in at some particular point and
Yep.
say, hey. What's going on, girl? I need to, my meditation. I need to do this. And it's just like, okay, trust the process, do this, do that, whatever whatever it is. Get you a professional self-care accountability partner. You only need one. If you feel like you need more than one because you don't trust yourself, you might need to work on you. Don't bring nobody else into this. Work on you first.
Please.
Get to that level. Work on you
Yes.
first. But yeah, definitely do that. And it's pretty much like I said, protecting your professional energy body. Being able to know what yours feels like so you're not taking on everybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, if Allison got her stuff going on as an entrepreneur, I can still talk to her without absorbing whatever it is she's got going on.
Yeah.
And even with Allison, it's not even negative. It's just life happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, because that's her life, I don't have to absorb her life. I
Yep.
can actually know what's hers and in some kind of way give her some of mine.
Yep.
It's been times where me and Allison have been on the phone or been on a video call, and her energy may be here. I'm not saying it's low, it may be over here,
Yeah.
but then by the time we finish, it's over here
Yep.
because I can safely give to her without without diminishing my energy
Yep.
and without absorbing
That's
hers.
right.
So the more you become familiar with your professional energy body, the easier it becomes.
Yes, it does.
I know it may sound like it's not the easiest thing to do because some people still working on identifying what their personal energy body feels like.
Right.
And they, still trying to become familiar with that. It's cool.
Yeah.
I completely understand. But just be aware that you do have a professional energy body that you need to be mindful of at some particular point.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Allison, what do you think about the professional self-care accountability partner?
I think it's very important, and speaking just from experience, it has kept me as an entrepreneur. People say that the first 6 months are the hardest. And depending on who you ask, they'll say that you don't really start coasting until you get to year 3 or year 5 or whatever. But specifically, when people talk about if there's another period of time besides the first year or 18 months, like Ruby brought up, what is that first period where people just like, I made a mistake? It's the 3 to 6 months. I know that because I lived it, because that's when things get real. That's when you start to see some of the things that the habits that you had as an employee that won't work as a business owner, and you have to deal with
Yeah.
these habits that you picked up, and you got to drop the habits, or the universe is forcing you to drop the habits. It gets hard if you don't have someone who's around you that can say, no, this is not a sign that you should stop. This is a sign that you are being processed at the beginning. You'll quit.
Mm-hmm.
You'll quit, you'll leave, you'll feel like a failure, you'll feel like you made a mistake, and you won't ever try it again. So the accountability partners for your personal and business, it is so important. And I just want to say what Ruby said before. Your professional mentor, accountability mentor, or accountability partner, it may not necessarily be a best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not saying that your best friend, and hear me, because my best friend, I mean, she is everything, everything, and I've known her for basically all my life. But there will be times that I may reach out to Ruby first. And the reason that I do that is because Ruby has walked in my shoes. That's what she was bringing up before. You want to find somebody that has already gone beyond where you are. You want to
Mm-hmm.
find some, you want to talk to someone who's dealt with that. And I wanted to bring that up again because I want people to know, you're not saying that your girls or your boy or your best friend or you're not saying that they're no longer good enough or important enough. You're saying that you now need an extra outlet while you take on this new role in your life. And if you have a new
Right.
role, you will more than likely, unless your best friend is also a very successful business owner that is several years ahead of you, you probably will end up with an accountability partner that's not your best friend. Now, Ruby and I can talk about things on a personal level as well, so I'm grateful for that. But maybe yours will just be business, and that's okay. Maybe your accountability partner will be the person that just checks in. Tell me about these goals that we talked about last month. Tell me what you've done to
Right.
achieve them, what you haven't done to achieve them, what have you put in place? And based off your answers, they're going to say, good job, I'll talk to you next month. Or they'll say, well, hold up. What is it what's happening that you're not moving forward? Because you have to understand the right accountability partner, they don't want their time wasted either. And that's a good thing because the fact that they value their time is going to force you to learn to value your time, because you don't want to get on the phone with somebody that you know has several people that would be willing to be in your spot for that 30 minutes to an hour, and they get to the point, you know what, I'm wasting my 30 minutes on you. You're not moving forward. You're not doing
Right.
any. I'm just going to move on. You don't want that. But that is what the accountability partner is for. You want to make sure you have a level of respect where you keep moving forward, because even if it's just because you don't want to disappoint them, that might be enough to get you over the hump. So make sure you're real careful about who you're looking for.
Right. And we're not talking about just any accountability partner. We are talking about a professional self-care accountability partner.
Yes.
So basically that means as a professional,
Yeah.
whether you are a career professional, business owner, or entrepreneur, you have to start setting time aside for yourself to professionally take care of who you are,
Yep.
to professionally take care of your professional energy body.
Yes.
That means if you have, if you know you're not getting enough sleep as a business owner,
Mm-hmm.
you need to somewhere squeeze in an extra 30 minutes or something. Self care, professional self care.
Right.
If for some reason you're not saying your business affirmations, you need to be held accountable for saying your business affirmations.
Right.
You need to be accountable for some personal development as a professional. If you're supposed to be taking a speaker's class or a speech class or something as a professional, you need to take it. I'm just saying.
That's true.
But the last thing I'm gonna say is get you a professional chakra consultation, and you can get that from me.
You can.
You know, you sure can. If you want to get one, oh, you know what? My professional chakra consultations are normally like up there. But if you happen to be watching this live video and you mention it, I'll be nice and do a 50% discount. Yeah, I ain't never discounted nothing 50%. I'm gonna tell y'all that. Discounting at 50% actually makes it less than a full personal chakra consultation. And I will tell you, a full personal chakra consultation is $200.
Mm-hmm.
It's two. And I have had people, I'll be like, dang, that's a lot of money. I've had people pay with no problem.
None.
I'm just saying. I'm doing professional, a full professional chakra consultation for 50% off, which makes it less than $200. If you mention this video. If you don't mention this video, you're not just gonna get it. Because I ain't posting this nowhere. I'm just saying. But if you want that, reach out to me.
Yeah.
But like we said in the beginning, if you're not familiar with your professional chakra system, I will go back and post the link to that particular Soul Sunday episode that Allison and I did, so you all can go back and watch that one to get more information about that.
Mm-hmm.
But and Allison, we gonna forego the question this Tuesday because we answered plenty of questions
Yes.
last Tuesday.
Yes.
So, I'm gonna give you a break.
Thank
But come
you.
Sunday, we getting back to our questions,
All right.
question of the episode.
All right.
Y'all, if y'all missed Soul Sunday, I'm gonna post that video too, just so y'all
Come
can get some
on.
entertainment. Do not watch this around the kids. Do not watch this if you're in a professional
At
setting.
all.
And when you watch this particular episode, do not judge Soul Sunday off of this one episode. That was just me and Allison just having fun
Mm-hmm.
and answering
Mm-hmm.
questions. I'll post that link to that video so y'all can get some, fun in there too. But this has been wonderful
Yeah.
as always.
All right.
Thank you, Allison. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
If you all want to follow me outside of Facebook, you can visit my website at www.thegoddessgrind.com. or you can purchase both of my books if you want to. You can schedule a chakra consultation. Um, you can follow me on Instagram at Ruby D Artistry. You can also follow me at Soul underscore therapy underscore radio. Of course, this Sunday we will be going live with Soul Therapy Radio with myself and our sister Tara at 12 p.m. noon. You can tune in to www.power1089.com to listen live. You can follow me on YouTube and just search Ruby Davidson. And I'm gonna stop talking your ear off so Allison can go ahead with her spiel.
Well, peace and blessings, everybody. Yes, I am Miss Allison Denise, aka the Petite Powerhouse, and my platform is based on relationships, dating, and having your best life possible. You can connect with me on Facebook under Allison Denise. Join me for my Facebook Lives every Monday through Thursday. Start time is between 9:30 and 9:45. On Friday nights from 9 to 11 Central, 10 to midnight Eastern. I am 1/5 of the Bad Squad Radio Show, and you can join us on the Fishbowl Radio Network at www.fbrn.us in the green stream. You can also catch me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter under Miss MS Allison Denise. Oh, and don't forget
You sure can.
www.allisondenise.com.
Yep. Y'all, it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been real. Make sure, catch us this Sunday. This Sunday, you get your double dose of soul.
Yeah.
First one, Soul Therapy Radio, 12 noon. I will be live on Facebook as well, so you can catch us then. And then at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, we have our regular Soul Sunday episode, so you can catch me and Allison again then. So then you get your double dose of soul for this Sunday, and everybody's good. So shout out to Tara, and I'll probably be doing some giveaways. So y'all better tune in. Y'all know I got these. Oh, let me show y'all. So what I'll be giving away, some of the things for the ladies, this Sunday. Shout out to Glorious Tresses and Glam. I'm actually doing our with Soul Therapy Radio, and I'm also going to be doing it in conjunction with all of my other Facebook lives. But Small Businesses for Healing, which is pretty much where we small businesses will be sending products to aid in different alternative types of healing. Like, for instance, beauty therapy, like doing your makeup and skincare. The time that you spend doing that is an actual way of healing, a type of therapy. And in doing that, one of the companies that has partnered with us is Glorious Tresses and Glam. She actually sent me full size products. She has hair extensions as well as makeup. So she sent me a 15 color eyeshadow palette. I'll go ahead and open this one so y'all can see. I'm not opening the rest of this stuff. But, just so y'all can see, this is the eyeshadow palette. It is neutral.
Nice.
So, y'all know I'm a makeup artist. I'm all about neutral. I rarely do color. So I was gonna take this, but I was like, nah, I give it away. But shout out to her for donating products because she didn't have to do it, but she did it anyway. And we have other companies that will be donating skincare products, hair care products, grooming products for men, because grooming therapy is a thing, hair therapy is a thing. Everybody don't heal the same. But, I will be giving away some things. So I have an eyeshadow palette. I actually have a concealer palette. She sent me some lashes. So, I open those and show you all those. Some nice dramatic full lashes. And she sent me a regular lipstick as well as a matte liquid lipstick. So I'm not sure which one which ones or which things I'm gonna give away this Sunday, but I guess you just have to tune in and watch.
I guess so. That's some good stuff.
Right, and this other company sending in some more stuff. So if you are a small business and you want to participate in our Small Businesses for Healing program or project, please reach out to me, please. And in addition to you reaching out, of course, I share information on all my social media platforms.
Hmm.
So, hey, you get some advertising in there too. So, it ain't like I'm just taking your products and just no, I'm doing what I can to support the small
That's
businesses.
right.
I do what I can.
That's right.
But we've been talking enough. But it was okay because we got started a little late because Facebook
Mhm.
Facebook does the thing. But real quick, you can go to um www.glorioustressesandglam.com if y'all want to see what she has. And everything is spelled, no special spellings. Glorious Tresses and Glam spelled out.com. So I'm finna get ready to go eat because it smells good downstairs. So me and Allison will catch y'all Sunday.
Yeah.
Make sure you tune in at noon for Soul Therapy Radio and then at 2 for Soul Sunday. I love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Peace and love and blessings and light and everything. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.